Connecting with Specialists. We're very happy to have Tanya Baxter from Tanya Baxter Contemporary join us today. She's an experienced art consultant and she has galleries in London and Hong Kong, specializing in postmodern, modern British, and contemporary art. Welcome, Tanya. Can you please tell us a bit about yourself and your gallery?
Yes, so my history actually all started as an art dealer and galleryist in Hong Kong. I started a gallery in '95 in Hong Kong in Lan Kwai Fong. It was in partnership with a very well-known Hong Kong businessman, Alan Zeman. And we had that for almost 4 years, and then I relocated to London. I continued going to Asia to consult to various corporate banks such as Standard Chartered, ABN AMRO, and various private corporate collections, as well as private collectors. And I continued having the office there. But while I came back to London, I started a gallery and then a couple of other galleries. At one stage, I had 3 galleries in London, in Knightsbridge, in St. James's, and in Chelsea. And over the years, it just became really transparent that having 3 galleries was a logistical nightmare, as well as, really inefficient for me. And my focus was to reopen an office, a proper advisory space in Hong Kong, which we did about 8 years ago now. So we still have the gallery in Chelsea, in King's Road, and the priority for us over the last 10 years has been to continue hosting Asian artists here in London, the very top Asian artists, figurative and some of the post-war contemporary artists, as well as working with the auction, record and museum artists and modern British, such as David Hockney, Freud, Bridget Riley. And our main purpose with the advisory is really to give clients sensible advice about collecting. So if they're looking for work, we help them source it. If they're looking to buy, we put them in touch with a collector or a dealer who's selling so that they work directly with them. We work in a very transparent way where most of our work is due diligence and advisory. My role is also, as a galleryist, is to host shows, and we do the art fairs internationally. So we're regular at your art fair at Fine Art Asia, and we love it. And it's such a good place for us because it's a synthesis of East meets West. And these collectors from mainland China, from Hong Kong, from Indonesia, are people who really welcome the fact that, as well as collecting hibashi or zauki, they can also look at contemporary markets from post-war contemporary artists such as Warhol, Jeff Koons, as well as the contemporary and modern British side artists such as David Hockney. And that has been a trend over the last 10 years. And they too are looking at the young, exciting artists such as Eddie Martinez, and kind of the younger generation international artists, saying, where do we look for the future? So they look to the emerging artists, and we've just had a show for a very talented young emerging artist called Red. We showed him first in Hong Kong, first at Fine Art Asia. So you were his debut platform, and he's now been collected internationally, from New York to Miami, Hong Kong. This year, our main focus for Fine Art Asia is celebrating Asia, and we've all been through the toughest year possible, and I really think that it's time to give art support, morale, and really important to actually boost their confidence because they're going through a very difficult stage, young graduates and artists. So our focus will be hanging a very exciting Asian collection with sophisticated auction record artists such as Ju Ming, Zhao Qi, Zhen Chuanxing, and then we'll also put young emerging talents in there. Alongside that, we've been busy working on a retrospective special museum collection of modern British. These works will not be for sale. It'll be a visiting exhibition that it'll be part of the highlight of Fine Art Asia, that we're requisitioning works on loan for Fine Art Asia, and these artists will be predominantly from the London School: Frank Arbach, Lucian Freud, Francis Bacon, and Paul Arago. These are names that are in the top 10 internationally. They're very sought after. And the pieces that we're showing will be an oil painting of Frank Arbach of Julia, his subject that he's painted for 50 years, his wife who's an artist as well. He's a very intense figurative artist and incredibly passionate approach to painting. His style is very unique, the thick gesture of brushstrokes, and the international audience is really looking to him. He's in his mid-80s now, very significant. He's had lots of retrospectives in Tate, at the Royal Academy. And then we're going to show Bridget Riley painting, a couple of works on paper, and a small painting as well. Again, mid-80s, the pop artist, the artist of the 60s, and very important in a museum perspective. But she's also very important because she's one of the very few women artists around the world living that have achieved such a high status. And she's still going strong, and her work is phenomenal. She had a recent retrospective at the Hayward Gallery and at Edinburgh Museum, and her works are soaring in the markets, a very interesting artist to watch, and still so relevant, so contemporary, so vibrant. Then we'll be showing a couple of Francis Bacon works. We will be showing a couple of the very special fine art limited editions, such as Seated Figure and the Pope, really significant pieces. And the other artist I'm thinking will be Lynn Chadwick. Lynn Chadwick is already pretty well known in Asia and Hong Kong, and at Exchange Square you see a few large public pieces. We've worked with collectors in Asia sourcing Lynn Chadwick's, and I think the style somehow, the architectural, the landscaping of it, the sharp lines and the kinetic energy of Lynn Chadwick really works in Asia. I would say that Lynn Chadwick and Ju Ming work very well together.
So we're very excited of museum works that you're going to exhibit at the fair. We want to thank you for your time, for sharing with us all these contemporary artists. We look forward to seeing you and the exquisite pieces. And then we'll connect next time, and we'll see you soon.